Oh, wow. It's the end of the month. Can you believe this, Coach?
End of the month. I can't
Mhm.
believe that we're 120 days from Christmas. Phew.
Okay, the Christmas is a trigger word. I don't know why we're talking Christmas, but it's a little too soon to be, or is it?
Val, in Nashville, they are
Hmm.
already 3 weeks ago. Halloween was the number one selling item 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, they said by Labor Day this weekend, Thanksgiving and Christmas becomes 50-50 at Labor Day. So
Hmm.
I'm just saying,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's another edition of Interludes Extra Presents Talk on Tuesday. As we wrap up our summer season, we had a great epic time yesterday. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And of course, myself and Coach Tony, we're going to be speakers. It's so much to talk about. Then we also have guests. They grow
yes,
things and they have mics. We're
man,
going to
my
get to
mic
all of that.
sounds nice. Check one. My mic sounds nice. Check two. Come on, you know how we do, Val.
And we're rolling right now. It's another edition of Interlude Extra Presents Talk on Tuesdays. We are back.
House.
We are in the building. We're excited that you guys are here. And of course, we always say go ahead and say hello in the chat because we love chatting with you all. And of course, our show, a DJ Saved My Life. It is the new book.
Hello.
Well, it's new. It's new.
Right, and
It
it's a
is
book. It's a book.
it's a book. But it is my personal memoir and also giving you guys the ABCs of starting your own podcast. And of course, if you want your signed copy of A DJ Saved My Life, isn't that a brilliant cover? We'll talk about that a little bit later. Go ahead and go to purelightHousemedia.com and go ahead and order the book and sent to you. I have about 30 more copies left, and I'm making some more adjustments. It's going to be a
Ooh,
good, great thing.
man,
I
sell
know.
out those 30. Matter of fact, the
Uh-huh.
person that buys the 30th copy, we got a gift for you. So make sure you DM us, get your information. So we're gonna sing you a little something, something from Coach Tony and Val, the voice, for a DJ Save My Life. Whoever
I
buys the
love
last copy, make
it.
sure you get Val your info so we can sing you something.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Oh my goodness. And of course, it is KeySpot, our affiliate sponsor. If you have a small business, go ahead and share, connect, and grow with KeySpot. They are based out of Cincinnati, but Cynthia McAllister, who also designed PureLighthouseMedia.com, she has every month a virtual gathering of small business owners and entrepreneurs from all around the country. Tap in with her. Go ahead and go to keyspot.com/free and find out more about how your business and non for profit can show up on the app. I like how things are on apps now. And of course, patreon.com. That's Interludes Extra Presents Find Your Voice. It is the extended remix of what happens here. Yes, of course, there's a Purple Robe Diaries, there's blogs, there is behind the scenes with me and Coach. I
Man,
recorded what we did yesterday. That was fun.
that was fun.
That was fun. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Coach has his own IG.
What?
Woo.
Took a minute, but I'm there. Hey, y'all better put your telephones up right there for the QR code, and so y'all can get at y'all boy, Coach Tony, so y'all can talk to me.
He's posting more. There are more reels. I'm not the only one posting. Let me
Yeah,
stop.
I'm,
Let me
I'm
stop.
getting used to it. Hey, as the young kids say, Val, I'm out there.
Now we're really excited. This weekend, myself and Coach Tony, we are going to be a part of Dr. Reverend Anthony D. Shannon's prayer breakfast of champions. It's going to be the Live Generous live in person event this weekend, and a featured speaker is Coach Tony. He's going to be talking about his platform, the Pull Up Podcast Show, and of course how he leads with coaching, with love and heart. And you better get out there and do it. I don't know what else you're going to say about what you're going to say. What you going to say on your speech? I'm curious.
First of all, I'm going to be fresh. I'll come out fresh to death.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be clean. Like Marty Moss say, got to keep it clean. But I think I just want the people to understand, I don't want you to be sentimental. I said it last night, but for those that do not know, there's no Coach Tony without Val. I was in the cut when it comes to this. I'm an old cat that need to learn new tricks, but have an opportunity to have people in my corner like Val, who introduced me to this podcast game and see what was up. I knew I was a natural anyway, because I'm always doing stuff with my kids, but to be put on the spot and then answer the call and then succeed with it and over succeed. I just want to thank, Speaker T for allowing me and you to come into the D to get a very, vicarious award, for what we do. And, this is not easy. Trust me. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk when Val first brought me. And then I had to jump out here. Like, look, Val, you got to get up on here. It's an hour talking to you. I got to have somebody. So I'm looking forward to just kind of spreading the opportunity of how I got started, the support behind the scenes, the things that you do to make sure that show is a success, and and just my everyday life, with kids in the community and basketball. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it too. And like I said, I think, Coach, it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to go ahead and produce this platform for you. And of course, we're going to be talking about our platform. I'll be talking about a DJ Save My Life in person. So Coach is going to be driving over from Nashville, and I'll be driving over from Chicago. And it's about a 3 or 4 hour drive for both myself. I think for you too, Coach.
Yeah, you better triple that. For me, it's 9.
Oh, it's 9 minutes? It's
Yeah,
9 hours?
I wish it was 9 minutes. I'd be like, hey, I'll be there tomorrow. I wouldn't leave lunch. Yeah, I'm facing about, with the construction going on, facing between 8 and 9 hours from Nashville to the D.
Okay. All right. So that sounds like that's a lot of time. So
that's different for me. If I was shy, I'd do that in my sleep.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm excited about being a part of this whole situation. And like I said, I'm gonna be doing my thing. And
I'm excited about meeting Speaker T. Hope you listening tonight at the 313, because we coming through with the 773. You feel me?
Coach Tony, as we continue on yesterday, I want to say it was a wrap. It was a wrap, but we had a great time with our folks who came for the fan appreciation show. Yay! We had Kiana, we had James, we had your son.
Yeah, they was up at, hey, that's why I wore this shirt, Val. Can I kick it? Yes, you can. Man, we had my coach, Kiana Briscoe, on representing for the women, and very knowledgeable, Val. She was hanging in there with the dude, answering the questions and all that. Had, of course, my left-hand man who helped develop all my players in my AAU program, with Coach Justin was doing thing. And then, James, man, and I didn't realize Val told Coach Jay till last night. Jeez,
Mm-hmm.
man, James been together since 93, 30. We got me and him got 30 from corporate America, and our daughters are
Mm-hmm.
1 year apart with the same name. And
Wow.
clicked it off because he was going through things. I was getting into some things. Then, of course, Coach, the shot doctor, Coach Fred, who's got to know the show very well, very blissful, doing some things. And by the way, he's made a big phone call for me today. Val introduced us to some more people. So pull up is about
Really?
to get some sponsorship on some things. So Coach Fred, I appreciate you. And he's probably watching tonight. Then of course my man's in them, Jay, Coach Jay. We like brothers from another mother. And then to have my own son, my man, that's my real man's in them, Tony Tom. Graduate. That was dope. Just to have so really, really good show. And I thanked everybody last night for showing up. We had some great topics, and then to speak to the Black Mamba right here. Not realizing that 5 years, Val, has gone by very quickly.
It has, and I'm really sad. And I mentioned that, but I didn't know you were going to talk about Kobe. But then you did a full outline, and tell the people that you didn't even get to everything that was on your outline because, ladies and gentlemen, let me just stop sharing this for a second. The time went by so fast. I looked around. It was at the bottom of the hour. I looked at the time again. I was putting up the overtime situation. I was like, Tony, where did the
Hey,
time go?
it
Where did
was
the time
loaded last
go?
night. When I say loaded, I mean it was a show to watch. I mean, big numbers last night. People dialing in. Had my AAU kids on. Uh, Matter of fact, I spoke to Coach Jay this morning, Val, and his people
Oh,
from Michigan who never watched the podcast said they absolutely loved it. They thought it was a funny show. They loved how I kind of commanded the floor, got everybody involved, and all that. So I told them, man, just keep watching. I'm gonna keep bringing you big things. I'm just scratching the surface, And the one thing I love about the podcast is that people know I'm a basketball coach and this and that. But a lot of people get really surprised, Val, when they find my knowledge across the board in every sport. They're like, wow, man, really? So I'm just proud and thankful for the fans that watch us all the time, right? Always talking to me and
mhm.
you, and then hitting us on Twitter and hitting us on the Instagram. And then they come on the show to show, hey, we've been not only supporting you all year, but we like the process. And I really appreciate it. And thank you very much. Because again, Shay, I'm talking to you, boy. Talking to Club Shay, I'm talking to you. Talking to my frat brother Ryan. Y'all out there on the pivot. Man, show your boy some love, man. Show Coach Tony some love. I'm doing big things up here on the Pull Up Podcast show.
So anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm grateful that you guys enjoyed our show on last night, but of course, we're gonna be talking about service today, and I decided to look up what are some top films that have been in the movie theaters that dealt specifically with servicing or helping people. Now, and the great gentlemen that we have from Alabama are here, but we're going to introduce them in just a few moments. But I did a little research, Coach, and there was about 5 films that came up. The Fire Inside. I don't know why The Help came up because I was thinking that's not the type of service I was thinking about. But
Especially when she serves them on that pie.
exactly, ain't nobody trying to talk about the pie. But one of the films that came through is Erin Brockovich. This was released in 2000 with Julia Roberts. And there was, if you remember the story correctly, she was a person she was like a legal assistant
Right.
and broke something that was happening that was poisoning folks that were a part of a very small community. And she went around to all of the community and had them sign, I think, what was it? A petition. And so Julia Roberts in 2001, I believe, won Best Actress for her portrayal. And this is a real person. Erin Brockovich is a real person. So it's one of those films that came up of when talking about service. What's your thoughts on Julia Roberts' performance in Erin Brockovich? You remember that film?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I just thought the way her character that she really was pushed to pretty much to the hilt, and
Mm-hmm.
what and And it was so funny because that's not a normal characterization that she normally would play. You know what I mean? She wasn't known
Yeah.
for movies like that, so I loved it. I thought that was one of those movies that kind of like you watched it and you're like, wow, I really like that movie. That was different because of the stuff that she had to go through because she went through a lot.
She did. She did. She was a consumer advocate, the real Erin Brockovich, and an environmental activist.
Yep.
And her role was to expose the Pacific gas and electric groundwater contamination in Hinckley, California,
Till
which
they went to court.
resulted in the largest direct action lawsuit settlement in the U.S. history at the time. And her
Crazy.
story and her story is the subject of this Oscar-winning film with Julia Roberts. So that's one of the films that popped up. And isn't it wonderful to have someone to be an activist for you?
Yes.
Hidden Figures.
What?
Come out in 2016. This was another film that came up as a top film talking about service.
And you know why?
Why? Huh?
Because it had the connection to who we got tonight on the show, Alabama. Rocket
So what
Center.
do you remember? What do you remember about Hidden Figures, Coach?
Man, I just know. Let me tell you something. I just know Black women are special, but in this movie, they were completely really special because if you look at, they were the modern day Amazon, right?
Okay.
Right, outpacing UPS and FedEx and whatnot. And Taraji was one of those, man, can you imagine the way I looked at the movie, like she was pledging. She was like, there was a group of Deltas or some AKAs or some Zetas or something, And she was like, hey, we're going to do this my way. Not only the right way, we're going to do it my way. And excuse me, Mr. White Man, I know you tell me this, but I ain't got time for that right now. And went and did something that they gave the majority or the white women who couldn't get the job done, Val, and then still tried to sabotage her. But the best part of that movie was at the end when they showed the real person, and she is the only person that lied in the cemetery in DC with the army. That's dope.
Yeah, that is dope. It was released in December of 2016. Taraji P. Henson played Katherine G. Johnson. I think, unfortunately, Katherine left us. I think either last year or in 2023. I gotta check the books. Octavia Spencer, who you see in the picture, she played Dorothy Vaughn, and Janelle Monáe, one of my favorite singers. She plays Mary Jackson. Kevin Costner, Glenn Powell, Mahershala Ali. They had such a wonderful cast, and this film did commercially great. 236 million worldwide, and it only had a $25 million project. Coach, what do you think about that?
But what I really, really, really love about the movie, Val?
What you really, really love about the movie?
There was 3 separate things going on, right? That rolled into one. Janae, Janae? She was caught between a love quarrel with a man from a different race, right? Who they couldn't see one another on their same block because there were going to be some problems.
Okay.
Taraji is this great leader who understands how to motivate people because a girl was going to quit 100 times. But she know how to, just motivate people. And then my girl was a homegirl. She was like, girl, are you ready to do this? Let's do it. And I got your back. Whatever you need, I got your back. So I really love that. And I learned a lot from this movie. I didn't know how much male, Val, these women had to really get out. That was a lot of male.
Wait. Now you're getting a little twisted. Now, Hidden Figures was about them being at Nassau. You're thinking about you're thinking about the other film that
my bad.
That came out in December. Yeah, that
my bad. I got you.
That's fine. That's fine. So it may I'm so sorry. NASA. They were NASA engineers,
Correct.
and also Catherine, who was portrayed by Taraji B. Henson.
It was chicken
She actually, she's the one that broke. They figured out how how NASA people were trying to get to the moon, the exact mathematical calculation it took to get to the moon. And to me, if that's a way of serving your country, because everyone's eyes was on our space travel and NASA back in the 60s. So Hidden Figures, we're going to go ahead and move on from that. The
hold on.
last film that came up.
Hold on, Val. But you know what
Okay.
was cool was that Glenn, who got to the moon, was like the character Taraji played. He was like, I don't want anybody else doing my numbers except for her.
That's right. Except for her. That's right. So that means
This
that
one
they had
civil
to
rights.
have a very strong knowledge of calculus, whatever
Yeah.
math that they need to do to figure that out. Because I'm telling you, I checked out after calculus, coach, in college.
Yeah. I checked that out to trigonometry, so we was good.
The next film and the last film that we talk about before our guests, you remember this film, Pursuit of Happiness. You know,
Yeah.
before the slap. Let me stop.
San Fran before the slap. He should have got slapped in this movie. Well, Jay said, "What's up, Jay? Check it in tonight, man. Yeah, last night was dope. It's dope. Appreciate that. This movie, Val, what I liked about this movie is strength and perseverance. Right? This brother, at a brilliant mind, was living out of his car.
Yeah, and he portrayed Chris Gardner. That was Will's character, and he's
Brilliant
a real life
mind.
Chris Gardner. Yeah,
Brilliant mind out of his car because of what just basic life situation sometimes deals us a bad hand. Now, God didn't say the hand you got is the hand you have to play. Right? So we
I like
sometimes got to figure out if we got a bad hand and we're in this game, you still got to figure out how to win, right? Me and you, Val, may be playing a game of spades with a few people and don't look like we got any luck. And all of a sudden, somebody drops a wrong card or make the wrong cut, open up a door, and when you finish and get your book. So I like how it was, and we weren't nice. And here's the funny part about it. After this movie, do you know San Francisco has never changed? They end up becoming one of the worst cities in the United States in terms of homelessness population and people robbing other people on the corners. They got like down by Union Station for Walgreens and CVS shut down because of the things. That was crazy. When I was up there, I had a homeless man trying to get at me right out of Walgreens.
Really? Oh,
but
no.
The wrong dude. Because I was like, look, man, me and you, I'm going to be walking away from here.
I think this film made me cry in several different things. I'll get to that. Let me get to the writer, Stephen Conrad. Gabrielle Muschino is who directed this film. And good gracious, Thandie Newton, she's a talented English actress. She plays his wife, Linda, but she's just kind of rejecting him. And he ended up saying, I need to sell this. I need to sell this machine. And so they say that it is a struggling salesman when he takes custody of his son, but then he is fighting to get a career in a completely different arena than what he is. And it was kind of that. This was set in 1981 San Francisco. And he said he invested his entire life savings in a portable bone density scanner. And it demonstrates to doctors and pitches as handy improvement over standard x-rays. But he was trying to be a serviceman, trying to sell this, and this was just not working out for him. But he wanted to ultimately continue to go after that. Now it's based on the same book by Chris Garner, but this is one of, I want to call it Will Smith's standout performances with his son Jaden in it. But I really enjoyed it, and I think the part that had me crying was when he got the job. You remember that, Tony? He got the job.
Yep.
And when he walked out, he just started clapping, and you just see his whole face just immersed, like, this happened, I did it. Like he had to keep believing in himself just one more day.
He was in the struggle. Right. And when you sometimes in the struggle, there's a difference between in the struggle and you got somewhere to go.
Exactly.
Nowhere to go, and you hoping today is better than yesterday. I mean, that's real.
It is extremely real. So, but it's the long weekend, and I just thought we would just mention these 3 films that talk about service and how they either help their community, some based in, all 3 films that we mentioned are based on real life. Erin Brockovich, Hidden Figures, and The Pursuit of Happiness. But we are going to come back after this commercial, and we're going to bring some real live community service folks that are serving their community in Alabama.
Oh no, they right back. They may not be roll tide.
We'll be right back after this message.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the Key Spot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. Key Spot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. Key Spot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Welcome back to another edition of Interludes Extra presents Talk on Tuesdays. Coach Tony came to me and said, Val, there's 2 gentlemen I'd love to have on the show. They do a varied amount of things, but what I'm going to do is have Coach Tony introduce them both, and they're coming all the way from Alabama. What you got, Coach?
Hey, let's get it right. They're coming from, as we say in the South, North. Not North, but Noff. North. They come from North Alabama. You know what I mean?
Spell that.
Hey, we do. Hey, that's where they're coming from. But I want to really thank the person that made this happen is my, dearly beloved Uncle Marvin Thompson. It's my man's and Val. That's my man's in them. You know what I mean?
That's the real man's in them. That's the real my man's in them. Okay.
He calls me. I'm dropping a lot of stuff, trying to get back. Because if I don't, he always trying to put my head in between his arms and squeeze it. So I got to get at him, But he came to me and said, nephew, I got 2 brothers here, man, in the North Alabama, man, and just not getting the coverage, not getting the just due, not getting the people to really see what they're doing within the community. And I looked at first Val, and I thought about the sports show, and I said, wait a minute, you need to be with me and Val, the voice. Because you talking community, music, entertainment, the things that they do, making sure that the youth and these kids, Val, sometimes have what they need. You've been around me long enough and you've been on the sideline and seen me coaching with the kids. Mm-hmm. People don't understand how those kids were able to come to Chicago with me, Val. Mm-hmm. These 2 gentlemen, they got a company that they work with, and their company's name is WC Handy Ambassadors. They're from Florence, Alabama. West Florence to be exact. For those that don't know, if you know North Alabama, that's down around Mobile Street. But they do a lot of big things and whatnot. And the blueprint for what they're trying to do, I'm not going to ruin it. I'm going to allow them to talk about it. But we're going to bring both the brothers to the stage right now, Brother Claude Wilson and Brother Monte Perkins, better known as Professor P, like Tony T.
Sir. Glad to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Y'all need to put me in the car with you when y'all in riding around North Alabama, man. I can make y'all intros. We good.
Hey, we ready for it, man. Come on, let's make it happen.
Man, welcome to the show tonight, man. How y'all fellas doing?
Oh man, we awesome, man. But hey, before we get started, man, I got to clear up something. I
I'm not Roll Tide. I'm Go Blue.
Oh.
Blue. I'm Roll Tide. Alabama all day.
I knew one of y'all was up in there. And the crazy part about it, you got Uncle Marvin sitting off the screen who eat Auburn Tigers. So
we ain't worried about that.
I got an Iron Bowl for Iron Bowl game. Then we got Go Blue over here, man. Big time.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Man, welcome to the stage, man. You know, Val and I have been working together like Laurel and Hardy for a minute. I'm obviously riding sidekick, depending on what show we on. But man, we wanted to welcome you guys to Interludes Talk on Tuesday, man, where we talk a little bit about, you know, community service and community work, so that you can let our audience know who are with us every week and give us a little background of both of you guys and the foundation and what you're trying to do.
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, thank you all for having us on, and congratulations on your book, Val. Thank you so much for the work that you put in. Thank you for having us, Brother Tony. I saw your show last night. I'm excited to see it again.
I appreciate it.
Professor P, I'm an educator by trade and by calling. Community-oriented young man, grew up in Birmingham. I'm from Florence originally, grew up in Birmingham, and came back to bring service to the community. Some of the programs that I learned throughout my career. Along the way, I met this young man, Claude Wilson, about 5 years ago, and we have been working diligently every day. We talk early in the morning, more so on him than me. I'm a little late riser, but we talk every day about our moves on how we can affect change in Florence, Alabama. That's my background, and some in entertainment as well. But this man right here is the one in entertainment, you know.
And Brother Claude, you a little older than Professor P, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why you up early. He up late.
Yeah, I get up with the birds, as they say, man. 5:30, the late I'm up.
I'm right behind him, about 6. I'm right behind you.
Yeah, man. I'm actually a Flint, Michigan native.
Oh my God, you cross the river from me and Val here. We both from the shot.
Okay, yeah. So
we'll be in Michigan this weekend in Detroit, getting an award. I played ball during the time that Glenn Rice and your boy Antoine Joe Bear and everybody was coming through Rice. I know Lloyd Vault. I know the Vault. I know Chucky Long. I know Long and all them boys.
Oh yeah. Those are all my peeps right there, man. So salute for that. Thinking about the movie Aaron Brockovich, and you know we kind of went through a thing very similar, having to do with our water.
Okay.
You know, it became a worldwide phenomenon about us having to go through a poisonous kind of situation with the pipes and things like that. So I can definitely relate to that movie even more so after that. Yeah. After that happened, like I said, I'm a retired singer songwriter. I've toured the first half of my life. I would say I worked with some of the best of the best, including Andre Rison.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was down there during the time with him and Lisa was putting together a record label.
Left Eye Lopez.
Yeah. I worked with LaFace Records.
Yeah.
Helped LaFace Records and Dark Studios, Rowdy Records. Worked with a lot of Atlanta artists during the 90s, things like that. My dad is originally from Alabama, so that's my connection. He brought us down every summer. That was our summer vacation. He's originally from Russellville, Alabama. It's about 45 minutes from
Russellville.
Yeah. So that's my connection. And like my brother said, I teamed up with him about 5 years ago, and we were working on a different project. But over time, we decided to kind of consolidate our vision and just focus, more so on the resources that we do have in the area, and decided to go with what we call ground zero, which is no matter what kind of technology comes or business interests you may have, at the end of the day, we all have to eat. So our thing is eating healthy, teaching young people how to grow healthy foods, good diets, and collaborating all of those resources together. So that's pretty much our focus for the time being. But we have plenty. We got about 4 or 5 different entities that we actually operate. But our main one right now is our community garden. So that's what we're focusing on.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the things that you guys have been doing, and one thing I I was saying this before the show, is that I started a garden, and that's something that's important for me, growing my own food, because a lot of things that are tagged as organic or natural,
Mhm.
we've come to find out, unfortunately, with big companies, just to preserve those things are in the food, which is horrible. What
Yes.
Talk to me about how important it is to help the community, especially communities of color, grow their own food, or to know about nature, and that's for both of you.
Well, first of all, you're on the right track. It is too many preservatives, too much plastic. This meat that we're eating today, we don't know what it is. We don't know what's in the food. We want to go back to the ground. We came from it. We came from agriculture. We want to return back to agriculture because there's so much uh, in the process of seed. You can find life, or you can find the process of life, right? So that's the teaching standpoint. But self-sustainability, being able to go out into the garden, pick your own food, um, cook healthy, and pay attention to what the natural enzymes might do, as opposed to all these chemicals that we putting in, and hopefully reverse all these diabetes, high blood pressure, um, sugar, or whatever, whatever we want to call it. Put an end to that and get people on a beeline to healthy eating and longevity and living.
Yeah, I already know. Pete, you look right to the dude right next to you. Claude, I was like you, man. Mama sent me out of Chicago, get out of gang violence. Most of all the summer. I'm hanging out, Professor P with Uncle Marvin out and put me to work in the garden, dog. In
Yes,
the
sir.
garden, man. We talking about it was hot in Alabama. I don't mean Val, I ain't talking about hot. I'm talking about hot. And we out there talking about some go get the corn and the peas and all that. But the funny part about it is, brothers, y'all will be able to concur with this. I talked to my son and the young folks. Back in the day, yeah, you worried about maybe chemical spray because of the insecticides so they don't eat the crop up and things of that nature. But all those people back in the day are still healthy, and majority of them are still living doing something. We now, kind of what Val was alluding to, if we don't grow our own and do our own, everything is now considered to be organic. Is that really the best healthy source, or it's just being smart with what you're putting in your body?
Well, I think it's a combination of them both. Um, when you consider all of the things that we're talking about, a lot of chemicals are used, for coloring to make the food look good, to grow, bigger crops and bigger sized vegetables and things of that nature. But so organic kind of gives you that reason to kind of buy and eat food that doesn't have a lot of pesticide growth to it. Um, and for us, like even in my city, my native city, Flint, we find ourselves over time. A lot of the grocery stores are limited.
Yep.
We are actually in what they call a food desert.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
so that's another reason why we figured, and we knew it was time to kind of figure out different ways to get supplies of what we actually need, which is some food. Um, the nearest supermarket would be Walmart, and that's maybe 2 miles away, from where
Yep.
we are. And then we have the smaller kind of grocery stores, family owned, but they don't sell vegetables a lot. The
Right.
meat section is always the biggest section that's in the smaller marts.
Sure.
So
Right,
we
it
look at
is.
all of those things like, okay, in order for us to get back to this idea of eating healthy, you got to get back to those foods that supply nutrients and the minerals we need. And as we know, meat is something that gives you a full feel, where when you eat, you're feeling full, but our bodies, like, it may take a whole month for a lot of people don't know this, but it may take up to a month for one steak to kind of get broke down in your body.
Yeah, the digest and get all the way
Vegetables,
through.
exactly. Versus vegetables, as soon as you eat them, you can eat any a vegetable or a fruit, and as soon as you finish it, or while you're eating it, you can actually feel that electricity kind of enzyme that we actually need to thrive on, especially with this melanin skin. It
Oh
helps us.
yeah.
Yeah, melanin is a great protectant. It gives us an added sense of reality that other people don't have. Everybody has some level of melanin, but when we eat the right foods and we get the right kind of sunlight, that's part of the reason why our great grandparents was living close to 100 years old.
Exactly.
I know my bloodline, like my oldest, every last one of them lived to be over 90 years old.
Yeah, same with ours.
I'm at halftime, as far as I'm concerned. Like,
yeah, he said halftime. We're in the locker room talk. And don't get it wrong. Val being nice. Val is growing a garden at her house. She's got some to grow as well. And I don't know if Val mentioned this to you. It was on CBS News, but Chicago has one of the biggest in terms of major cities. There's a group of people that come together on the South Side that has their own farm market, and it's one of the biggest ones that in most major cities. And they taking stuff from old deprived homes like in Flint that was burnt down, that was ran down, that was doped out, and turned those into community projects like gardens, man. So it's really good. Val, tell me about your garden.
I did a little bit earlier, and I have three or four plants, but my mom planted a garden every year, especially when she got laid off. I remember a lot of our food coming straight from the garden. She did cucumbers, tomatoes, broccoli, kale, spinach. We did corn. We did okra. Like, it was a whole thing. And fried green tomatoes. Yeah, and fried green tomatoes was something that was the norm in our home, because this was something that she could fix and not spend a lot of money at the grocery store, because the meat of everything of what we ate was from the garden. Like, she would be like, okay, I'm going to spend, whatever I have for my unemployment, like on this meat here and this meat here. But the vast majority of our soups and all the rest of that stuff got made from the garden. She maintained the garden from when I was a little kid. And she's from Arkansas, Forest City, Arkansas. My mom was Forest City, Arkansas. She maintained that garden for about 20 years, from the late 70s to like the early 90s. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And before as we get on to this, I need to find out about this logo. If you could tell me about your company. I just like how that looks. This is explain this, Professor P. Claude. Just break this down for myself and Coach Tony.
This is the annual
WC Handy Ambassador. We are WC Handy ambassadors, but the logo that you see is a depiction of WC Handy himself. WC Handy is the father of the blues music, and it was birthed here in Florence, Alabama. So as ambassadors are on a global reclamation, you can see the globe right behind his shoulder, because his impact is a global impact. All genres of music, Black music, if you will, stem from this man. And right here on Beale Street, which is in Florence, Alabama, it is one in Memphis, but the one the song is about is in Florence, Alabama, where he was born. Yep. And so we, as ambassadors, and with the music background, want to bring that legacy back here. We do celebrate him in a festival type of style, but 365 days, he was an artist. He was a creative. He was the first band director at Alabama A&M. And so even our vision for agriculture ties back into the man, WC Handy. So that's what you're seeing. He is the father of the blues. The Blue Note is actually established on his birthday, which is November 16th, 1873. And that's why we say it's established then in Florence, Alabama. And so, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for noticing that.
Pal, you'll be amazed in what Brother Professor P was talking about is the Handy Festival. And they have it each year and go down. And man, this thing is huge. And, and people talk about HBCU and his ties to Alabama A&M. And of course, they were, agriculture, mechanical. That's where the A&M came from. But you're talking about the influence. And we're talking about when people say Beale Street and this and that, they always talk of Memphis. But what a lot of people don't realize right there in Florence and Muscle Shoals, Alabama, is Hit City. And that's where Michael Jackson, Prince, and Elvis Presley, a few other people came through in the late 60s, early 70s, 80s to record their hit music, Val.
Yeah. And I think it's important, and this is something I guess you guys have been doing every year at this time in September, this festival that's getting ready to happen on next week. Tell us about it.
Oh, okay. Let me back up a little bit. We are not affiliated with the festival. The festival is a city-run event, and we are that unfortunately doesn't trickle back down to the family or to the foundation or to the home. And so part of why we are stepped up as concerned citizens, as ambassadors, is because of that. We feel like the city could have done a better job into supporting the foundation and the home. And that's not just here in Florence, that's everywhere that they do have festivals. And we want to bring again that global reclamation back here and take care of what's important to us, which is the museum and the actual legacy of the man, W.C. Handy.
Okay.
But you mentioned next week, the Blue Marketplace is what you're mentioning, the Blue Marketplace Vendors Row. And what that is our attempt to bring back that Black Wall Street, calling out all entrepreneurs, all those who sell goods and products to one location, which would be right behind the W.C. Handy home, his cabin and museum. So we want to bring everybody to that location and start this marketplace where you can find goods, you can see art in different forms, you can hear music, you can commune with come out and commune with the community. We have food trucks coming out, different vendors coming out, and this is an ongoing thing from 9 until on the first Saturday and Sunday of the next few months. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And one other thing I want to mention, you spoke about like the repurposing or the reimagining of vacant lots and homes. That's actually our phase 2 of what it is that we're going to be doing with our garden project. There are actually 3 phases. So quickly, the second phase is we're actually creating greenhouses where we're going to be doing the exact same formula and model, where we're going to be growing our herbs and spices and things like that inside of our greenhouses. So that's our second phase. Our third phase is we've created a name that's part of a program, but we're actually moving into a white labeling our product, and it's called First Fruits. So not only are we going to be growing the foods, we're actually going to be commercializing it and creating a way that that we can begin to sell and wholesale our foods packaged up with dry processing, using dry ice, selling them whole. So we're going through 3 different phases that relates to what we're going to be doing with our foods.
Oh man, make sure y'all get that information. Val can put it in the tagline, as to that as well. We want to make sure we promote you guys as much as possible. The question I got, and I'm sure Val's probably thinking, because she and I are always kind of on the same road at different phases, but get there at the same time. And, are you guys thinking about at some point commercializing this? Like what you mentioned a moment ago, the Walmarts is a couple miles away, some smaller stores, butcher shops and all that. It's okay to go out and do what you do, right? It's okay to open the eyes of the community. But if you want to take this bigger, where you've been in a situation where it's great to educate the local people here, but I want to educate the state of Alabama and then move into Tennessee and Mississippi and this and that. Have you guys thought or had a game plan to talk about that?
Yes, actually we do. We are partnering with college and universities. We're starting here locally with the University of North Alabama. Right.
Tell us about that.
Yes, sir. Coming in, we want to utilize the students in the sciences, how to break down these foods, how to extract the oils, how to dry processing, using help me out, the nutrients and to recreate even juices. So the students are going to be heavily involved in this process So we want to go through the universities. They have the resources in terms of the buildings and the facilities. They have the hands in terms of the students. But right up the road from Florence is Alabama A&M.
Right.
And so they do have programs as well. So we're creating a model. We're creating a model first with the community in our container programs, which we do at the WC Handy Rec Center with Jason Graham, all the way to the gardens that we have in the community, and then to the fields, aeroponics, hydroponics, indoor gardening, container gardening, all of those leading into commercialization of these products. And then we also go as far as certifying. We have a program to certify drones. So we're doing
drone
delivery through this as well.
Yeah.
So we have a plan for commercialization.
And it is called First Fruits.
First Fruit Garden.
That would be the packaging and commercialization of our products.
Y'all gonna be good if that's the case, because you know your boy up in the office in DC ain't gonna talk about it. Just approves the situation where you now have, like, Uber Eats are able to drone. Don't even know if you know this, Val, to order and drone your food or groceries to your house at a certain weight and drop it off right to you. So
I've heard about that. Yeah, that seems to be the new AI technology that's actually happening. And here's the thing: do we know where that's coming from? Do we have any idea? And so I've always been a little nervous when something is coming from a drone. And like what's operating that? Like, is that a person? Is that? And so I'm always nervous about that. Aren't you guys nervous about stuff like that?
Well, right now you have a stranger bringing your food up to your door. We don't know what.
That's true. That's true. And he in the car with your food.
Yeah, it's one of those models that's going to be introduced with the guys, whether we're comfortable with it.
I'll think about that all the time, because I'll be like, man, this food, man, it look good is all I do. And I'm like, wait a minute. Most of the time it's staple, but this bag ain't staple. Then your mind gets to playing tricks on you. I feel it.
Right. But we also like the those that go through our program, they will be leaving and they'll be certified throughout the state of Alabama at this point. And so we are offering job opportunities. And
so you guys are certifying people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
that's dope as hell. I'm gonna tell you right now. Just thinking about that is something that Val and she makes me get on the phone, talk about a lot of different things about what we got to do with the show. And she is, I never forget, if we were getting going, she kept saying, Coach, I got to expand the brand. I got to do this and that. And I was just like, Val, teach the podcasting. She like, that's funny you said that, because I've been thinking about that all the time. And then she just went to the next level. So to have you guys do something like this, because ain't nobody thinking about, let's tell the truth, with AI, with robots, with manufacturing jobs being gone, with different things of that nature, no one's thinking about getting back out in the garden no more, man. Not because it's not healthy, but because the concept of the garden in it and back in the day. So real Black people, especially those African Americans, like you said, that may have some age, 60, 70, 80, 90 on them, they're not trying to, because they know already, the younger kids. So have you guys, and I like the concept you mentioned a moment ago, Professor P, about contacting the university. It's great to look for the kids in the sciences, but have you guys thought about getting some of those same kids as experimental samples to make sure you guys can lock other universities down?
Well, we hope to, our goal is to lock this university down so that we can entertain others, or at least attract others. I believe that once one comes, the others will follow. And tomorrow we'll be meeting again with UNA. So we're actively engaged in what we're talking about is an ongoing everyday process. So not just the students in the university realm. There's a drove of students that are not going to college.
Correct.
And they need to be active as well. And it touches every home. I think Claude mentioned that everyone has to eat, so,
Right.
Yeah, we keep it basic.
Yeah, keep it basic.
I ate White Castles last night. I feel you.
Everybody has to eat.
Ew, yuck.
They not
White
White Castle.
Castle, Coach? No, I'm sorry. I'm about to bust you out on that. You ain't eating no White Castle. I know you not, right? Not the gas burgers.
Oh,
Come
man,
on,
let
man.
me get that.
Oh yeah, he eating White Castle.
Tell him, Claude. Hey, let me get that number 1 4-pack right now, man. White Castle, midnight. Come on, Claude. Hey, you know, pull up at White Castle at midnight, man.
Hey, please believe it. Ain't
Please
plenty of
it. Exactly. Tell you, Val. Hey, that's why I gotta get with Claude and Professor P so I can get some of that fresh fruit and that meat. I mean, fresh fruit and vegetables to give yourself a cleansing, girl. I gotta
Yes,
get
you need a cleansing because you know all of that bad meat and alcohol is not good for your body. I'm just saying. You got to coach the peoples. No, you got to run up and down a basketball court. You need vegetables.
Let me tell you something. I work out with my kids on this court 5 days a week. I run probably 6 miles a week. You give me some guy at my age right there, I'm all right. And we playing golf every Sunday, 4 hours swinging clubs, and I'm working out 2-3 times a week. Come on. Hey, what? All I need is Professor P and Claude to make sure I can get some out the garden like I used to. Them fried green tomatoes. And Val, you ain't talking about the okra. I know these boys got some okra.
Oh yeah, please believe it.
Well, quick question. And growing your and actually, you know, developing, you know, the land, because I feel like that's almost a throwback to what a lot of our ancestors did before, you know, modern world. If you were to tell someone, hey, what would be great for the community is for you to grow your own garden. Have you ever got any pushback when you taught that, or even, you know, shared that in either community projects and things that you guys pursue? And that's for both of you.
We've gotten some pushback. We've heard that, you know, call us when the crops come up, you know.
Right. And that was in a nice way.
Yeah, that was how I came out. And we've heard that our program was too complex for some. And the truth of the matter is not that complex. It's putting seed into the ground and letting the sun and the water do the rest. So, but it's hard on those folks, though, dog. It is some pushback. I'm sorry.
That's why it was complex. It was hard on some people.
Right. The labors are few, is what they said. The Bible says. But you know, the truth of the matter is, we have to move forward, and we have to be, you know, we said ancestors, we don't have to go back that far. Right. I mean, 50 years is not that long ago, and people were actively engaged in gardening. So it's our generation that lost that skill, and it's our generation that has to pick it back up. And that's not just gardening, that's everything. Yep. You mentioned the sciences, but we have a program that is interdisciplinary. It's cross-sectional, so anybody can be involved. If you teach a podcast, Ms. Val, we definitely want to encourage you to link up with us so that we can have that down here. We got a lot of people that need to learn that skill as well.
See, Val, I'm getting my cut.
You're asking for a cut. Okay, all right. I think that is good. Now I want to brag a little bit. I just want to brag a little bit. I was looking for this while you all were talking, but I just wanted to brag a little bit. This is my vegetables. This is my green tomatoes.
Okay. Nice.
And trust me, the day she took it, she took a picture and sent it to me. Coach, look what I got in my garden. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Now, I've been asking Val because she don't. And I'm going to tell you the reason behind it. Are you guys growing any of the jalapenos?
Peppers?
Yep.
We got peppers.
We have the seeds. I don't think we actually have that part of the harvest. Yeah.
I got my frat brother, you know, brother Gerald. What's going on? Phi Nu Pi Kappa Alpha Psi, but he's on that neurosurgeon heart brain situation. Was talking to me about some things as he's, you know, one of the doctors is one of the top doctors in the nation, but he's down in Carolina area on the body and things of that nature when it comes to male perspective. Did you guys know that jalapeno peppers for the African-American male and pretty much a lot of men is one of the best natural fruits you can eat in terms of deterrent when it comes to testicular cancer. So I found that out probably 8 years ago, 2017, 18. Been on them ever since. And I'm at the point now, I pretty much go to a Mexican restaurant or anything else, order these natural that I'd have moved up from jalapeno to habanero. So
Okay.
if you guys got any, I know you got the seeds, man, but now you know how they can help in terms of physicalness and maybe keep a couple people on this earth. I will at least try to push some of those. And you too, Val, with that garden you got.
For
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that opens up a different lane, Tony. I'm sorry, Val, but the health benefits, that's what we're trying to tap into. Why do we want to, not just for the taste and not just because we want to cut anybody out as far as what they do with the food, but what is the health benefits? What is it going to prevent? What is it going to cure? And that's important to us. So thank you for that information.
Yeah, and Val, I think it'd behoove you, Val, to connect with Claude and Professor P, get some more pieces in your garden, maybe even expand it on some of that crabgrass you talked about, and get the garden.
Yeah. I'm having a tough time, gentlemen, with getting crabgrass. It popped up over the last couple of weeks, and also last year I was attacked by grub insects. And
I'm working with it, fellas. I'm working with it to get it out. I'm working with it.
Yeah, so it just, and then all of a sudden I had little moles that were tunneling through the grass, trying to eat the grub insects. So I had holes in my grass in like late September, early October. So I'm always fighting. I want my grass to look like carpet. I know it's just grass, but that's just what I would love to happen.
And speaking of that, with your gardens and all that, how are you guys in this day and age, right? Because we know, and I don't think Alabama is one of those states, but we know that hemp growers, right, that's getting paid for CBD and for HTC and things of that nature. How are you guys fighting them locally? And then, of course, because I know the area, where is the main, if you guys could give that out, if it's not confidential, where is the main garden located? And it goes back to an extended question Val asked earlier. With that garden, are there other areas throughout the North Alabama or throughout Florence, Muscle Shoals, Sheffield area, and that whole Quad City area that you guys try to get multiple gardens and then put, like you said, people to work so you're actually getting jobs and they're getting paid?
Well, yes, sir. We actually have 3 lots right now, and we're looking to expand. And I am not a green thumb. We have a team of people who I'm learning as we go.
I like that, dog. That's how Val did me with the daggone podcast. Boy, learn as you go.
We have a team of great individuals, Sean, Jason, Eero, Mo, Aaron, and just want to name a few that are involved in different phases. One is big on the ground and they know how to prepare the ground. Then Sean is a seed connoisseur. He understands like Bubba Gump, no shrimp. Sean knows seeds.
Watch out when he be growing in that garden. May not,
So all we gotta do is ask Sean.
Yeah, we got plenty of people.
Sean.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, we have 3 different garden locations right now. We're looking to go into the greenhouses and repurpose houses. One of the talks with UNA is to they're buying up land in West Florence, lots and housing, and some of that is labeled by the locals or by the local citizens as gentrification. And so we want to kind of head that off. I understand what you're doing over here, but let's reimagine what we can do with these spaces to turn houses into full greenhouses. What we're looking to do to turn those dilapidated homes or lots, overgrown lots, into community gardens. We have a garden. Actually, your uncle donated to us right across the street from where we are now. So yeah, they are around Florence and growing, not just Florence, across the water and in the Shoals area as well.
Yeah. And Val, just to give you a background real quick, as you mentioned, UNA, that's University of North Alabama. It is probably about 65, 70 miles west of Alabama A&M, about a 52 an hour drive over. And with them in this community, the university in the community really wraps their arm around the university. It's kind of like what we do at UIC, sits in the heart of Chicago. So it's right there in Jewtown and everything else in Greektown. Everybody supports UIC because you're not going to go to Evanston, Northwestern, and Loyola's still far up. So it's kind of like that with the community. And the good thing about it is that a lot of the people around the city, they are building a brand new football stadium. Obviously, fellas, they're with David Lipscomb, so they now get the chance to come up to Nashville and play football. So that's good to see two African-American brothers that are trying to negotiate with a major university on how to utilize not all, but some of that land. That's crazy, ain't it, Val?
Yeah.
It is. And it should be definitely, I want to say, honored. And it's what we mentioned earlier with some of the things we loved about some of the films we saw is you're serving your community and then you're helping others learn skills so they can continue to serve the community. Would you all agree with that?
That's right. That's right. And I do want to also mention, you mentioned earlier about AI, but along with that, we are heavily involved with not only AI, but what they call blockchain technology.
Blockchain, yep.
So
Nice.
that is one of the ways that we actually are designing our system to track our vegetables from the actual garden all the way up to its last stop. So whether it's at your table, whether it's in the restaurant being used,
Oh, wow.
whether you look to the farmer's market, you'll know exactly which one of our lots that it came off of, what day it was picked, what day it was harvested, and you will be able to purchase it by way of using what we call tokenization. Now, tokenization is a split that deals with cryptocurrency. Yep. Most people are familiar with cryptocurrency as it relates to investments like Bitcoin and things like that. Yep. But there's an underlying technology that blockchain is the technology that all of those cryptocurrencies are built on. So we're actually creating a digital experience as well that relates to our foods. So we have what we call as above, so below. So we're connecting these two worlds, so to speak, the real world and the virtual world. And that's part of our entire experience as well.
That's dope. And I'm going to give you one on that. I'm very familiar with that. And the new stock that's out right now, just picked it up. I just told Uncle Marvin about is XRP. So put that on your list. And
we locked in, man. We've been in it since 50 cents.
Okay, I've been in it since $1.20. So
yeah.
If you got 5 or 10 grand, this thing's supposed to be rolling between here and 2030, 2032. That $1,000 investment would be somewhere in the ballpark about 800 grand. And I'm looking to just load up, which is what I'm doing. I was reading and Val, are you familiar with that?
I am familiar with that, and of course, for entertainment purposes only, we are only making these suggestions of things that you could do. Anything that you invest is the risk of yourself, and not us of Val the Voice, Tony Thompson, or Claude Wilson, or Professor P. Thank you very much.
Here's how I tell them: for promotional purposes only. That's how
we have to do that so we don't get sued. Ain't nobody trying to get sued.
But Val, if you're not up on that, you can get in on Coinbase and get everything squared away. But it is that's good to see y'all brothers doing it, because I would love to see you do it, because trust me, between Uncle Marvin, my auntie Dorothy Burgess, and my grandmother and them having working up in the garden, they ain't trying to do none of that. None. We just walk down the street and take watermelons just because we was mad, But it's funny because y'all brothers, like me, you, Val, around the same age, man. I love it. I mean, how many times as a kid you remember, snatching a peach off the tree, or grabbing a tomato, throw some pepper and salt on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or snatch a carrot and rinse it off, or a potato out of the ground. Right? Walk down the street with wild strawberry. These kids don't have that experience no more, because one, a lot of them do not get an opportunity to get back to grandmama house, because grandmama house in the South, and I'm talking Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, right? Georgia is not like Alabama in the South, or the South right now when we grew up.
That's right.
Different chat. So I really applaud brothers like you who are kind of like a big Val. Val got a small garden in her backyard, and you guys are trying to not only take it major, but to show people how it can have health consequences on your body and your longevity.
And using technology, learning technology along the way.
Yeah, because people keep thinking, oh, AI this and AI that. You guys are actually putting the technology to work because Val, I don't know about you, but the last time I've seen a tracking like that is like in a wine garden, right? I'm surprised you guys ain't growing grapes, but they do that. If you go to up in Northern California, they know the vine, they know the grape, they know the year's harvest. Most people don't even realize by the time you get a bottle of wine, it's already been 6 years old by the time you even get that one bottle. So it's amazing, man. I just tell you, Val, I applaud y'all brothers, man. Continue up the good work, man. And thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And just do another reminder of what's going to be happening next week.
Yes, ma'am. The Blue Marketplace is our version of the Black Wall Street. We're calling out all vendors, non-food vendors and food vendors to come out, set up September 5th and 6th from 9 until. You can contact myself or Deidre actually is the person to contact. Her number is 256 9899068. I had to read that.
Hey, man, that's why I know he been out of age grade. When the eyes start playing, you got to
put them glasses on.
Hey, you already know what it is.
What that say, baby?
Hey,
come on, like me. I took the glasses off. I got to do the stuff.
We gotta get his vitamin A up. He's a little deficient over here.
Hey, Claude, you better get him back in the garden in the morning, man.
That's right. We gotta go eat some.
Professor P, Claude Wilson, thank you guys so very much for coming and stopping in and letting us know what you guys are doing there. And you're making me want to learn a little bit more about WC Handy and about Florence, Alabama. The history of our community and of our culture is all over the world, but definitely in the South. So if you guys are in the Alabama area, Birmingham it's only 2 hours away. Make yourself down and learn a little bit about the Blue Market Vendors Row in Florence, Alabama, September 5th and September 6th. Call 256-989-9068 if you have any information. And of course, you guys can follow them on social media, and you could let us know what your social media handles are. But we're excited that you guys came and joined us. Exactly. I know it's your people.
That down with my post. And before we get out of here tonight, on a sad note, Claude, you and Professor P probably know, good friend of the family, George Eccleston and Percy, was in a very bad accident there in North Alabama this past weekend, and it wasn't great at all. So I just want to make sure that we just put out a moment of silence for them. Very good people. I grew up with their daughter, Tammy Eccleston, and they're both their daughters, as a matter of fact. So I just want to make sure, man, that the people that's in the area right there in North Alabama, man, pay their respects, to everything, man. So I appreciate it. But brother, man, it's been awesome waiting on Val to get back on here. But man, I appreciate you guys for just, Val, this is totally different. We got to learn about food. I hope you picked up some pointers about your garden.
Everybody gotta eat.
You see, Val got a little plant in the back there trying to be slick.
Why is that?
So please follow Coach Tony on Instagram. Go ahead and scan the QR code, and he is posting. I'm posting. We're all posting for the Pull Up Podcast Show. And of course, we've got to let you guys know about what a DJ saved my life. It is the book, the memoir of my mom, and me, and then the ABCs of starting your own podcast. Please go to purelightshousemedia.com. and you can get a signed copy. Now, this is what I'm excited to tell you guys about. Patreon.com, Interludes, Find Your Voice. Behind the scenes, that's me and Coach. And of course, some articles and other things that is there hanging out at there. And of course, Coach, we're going a little bit of a break, right?
Yeah, I got to take some rest. My voice, my lung, I've been hurting.
Drink water. Drink water. He returns with his 4th season premiere September 15th. That's in 2 weeks. So we'll see you then. And of course, our next live of the Interludes will be right next door, September 16th. We are booking some wonderful folks like Claude Wilson, Professor P, and other great folks. We're excited about it all. All right. You know, I have to take care of business first before you go off into this talking tangent. I have a structure, and this is what we do. I love you, Coach. Okay. Anything else?
I had to get that in. I forgot to get it in the beginning. So, you don't mean you wives live, right? So that's why everybody loves us. Now put them fingers up.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Go and tell them, Val.
Oh, you guys have a blessed evening. Peace.
Peace.